Before we get into this edition of Titans Today, which is all about some potential free agents Tennessee could sign, do you think the Titans should sign a veteran before training camp? 1 for yes, 0 for no. Can be any player, any position. Do you think they need at least one more veteran, though? Now, as your comments come in, a big thank you to Tyman The Buckeye for having the most comments on our last Titans video, or I should say second to last Titans video. Is worth mentioning, Tyman's not a Titans fan. He's a Browns guy by trade. Maybe a little bit sad a Titans fan didn't win, but he is a big Chat Sports fan. So thank you very much, Tyman. Next time, Titans fans, don't let him win. All right, let's talk Quandre Diggs as a potential option here for the Tennessee Titans in free agency. This idea coming to us from Sports Illustrated. They pitched 3 names. I thought Diggs was by far the most intriguing, so wanted to focus on him, plus get to other outlets later on. We have spent much time talking about safeties and how that's probably another area this team could look to add some talent. I like Amani Hooker. I like Elijah Molden. I would be lying to you if I didn't think that the depth was good or if I thought it was good enough. Mike Brown, Tamam Motter, Jackson, Shaheem Carter. If Hooker or Molden go down, which given their own injury history seems like at least a possibility, that leaves that secondary room, that safety room, and I would argue kind of a bad spot. So I would have interest in adding somebody else. I think Diggs could end up being that player. Now, his tackle numbers jumped this year, while the INTs dropped off from 2022 to 2023. Is kind of funny how he's gone low tackle number, high tackle numbers every other year, but the pass breakups and the interceptions went in the wrong direction. I don't think Diggs was as good last year as he's been in years past. I thought he kind of took a step backwards. I thought the Seahawks defense in general had some pretty sizable issues. Diggs got, fair or not, some extra blame because of that. But I am surprised he's unsigned in July. I think he can still help a team depending on what exactly he's looking for. But the safety market in general is not in great shape. It's kind of in a bad spot, to be quite honest, in the sense that players have not gotten what they thought they were going to get, right? Justin Simmons hasn't had a ton of action. The Titans were linked immediately, and then, kind of quiet since then. Diggs, Eddie Jackson, Micah Hyde, although he might be looking personally if he wants to play or not. Adrian Amos, Kareem Jackson. Jamal Adams had to work out with the Ravens, and that kind of fizzled out afterwards. Tracy Walker. Jaron Kearse was starting for a playoff team last year. There's a lot of safeties that are unsigned. Now, not all of them make sense for Tennessee. I think Kearse would be a bad fit with Titans because his role is the James Williams role. It's the exact same type of player and fit that I think that team has at the moment. So I would have interest in one of those top safeties, Simmons, Diggs, etc. My question is, what does Diggs want? Does he want a guaranteed starting spot and the money that accompanies it? If so, might not be the right fit in Tennessee if everyone's healthy. Also could be why maybe he wants to wait and see if an injury happens, because those will happen in training camp, and allow him to find more money and bigger playing time and maybe cashing in again next offseason. So would you sign Quandre Diggs if you ran the Titans? Y for yes, N for no. It is today's pinned comment, so if the ad comes here on the YouTube side, great. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know, Y or N. Another free agent idea suggested by Pro Football Network, that was Conor McDermott as the top free agent target left. And look, they're picking one free agent for each team, trying to mix and match the players. I get that. Here's the pitch first. Let me lay out the argument, then I'll not like it. Help and more help are needed to protect Will Levis moving forward. The towering 6'8" veteran Conor McDermott can come in and give Tennessee breathing room in the tackle department. But does it? This doesn't really move the needle for me. I don't think getting, not to be rude, but I think it's just a body, is needed. You have bodies along the offensive line. You have players who are going to get a chance to showcase what they do at the tackle battle. Obviously, J.C. Latham is going to start at left tackle. The other options are Jalen Duncan, Nicholas Petit-Frere, Jerron Kristen, John Ojukwu. Like, you have players, Dylan Raines can play tackle if you need him to. You have guys that can do that. Adding a journeyman offensive tackle kind of feels repetitive when you just did that with Jerron Christian. McDermott was a late-round pick by the Patriots back in 2017, gets waived. The Bills pick him up. He plays for the Jets a little bit. He spent the last year and a change, kind of year and a half almost, with the Patriots, who, need I remind you, weren't a very good pass protecting offensive line. McDermott got beat a lot in pass protection. 14 pressures on 227 total snaps. That's really bad ratios. Especially when you factor this on all pass protection snaps. He was fine as a run blocker, league average. I got run blockers on this team. If I'm going to air it out more with Will Levis, I would like a better pass protector. I don't need a body at offensive tackle. I need someone to emerge as a starter. I don't think McDermott does that at this stage in his career. Now, speaking of the offensive line, you can get the J.C. Latham rookie jersey over at chatsports.com/Latham. It is the official rookie jersey for the Titans' first-round pick. That link will be in the comments section and the description of today's show. It's chatsports.com/Latham. Next up is a linebacker, which I'm not opposed to adding help. I think there's enough young interest. Maybe you don't have to go get somebody. But Clutch Points was listing the one player each team must sign, and the perfect move, I should say. Theirs was Shaq Leonard, who, of course, you guys probably know from his time in Indianapolis. Tennessee has options at inside linebacker. They signed Kenneth Murray to a pretty big deal. Jack Gibbons is back after playing a big role last year. They drafted Cedric Gray in the second round. James Williams on Cedric Gray in the fourth round. James Williams later on day 3. Otis Reese is on the roster. Luke Gifford can be your great linebacker 6 for you, right? Chance Campbell going to fight for a spot. But I think it is fair to question just how good the top end of that roster looks like, or could look like, given the overall impact that you've had some inconsistent results out of. In terms, Kenneth Murray was really up and down as a first-round pick. Gray's an unknown. Gibbons is a lower investment player. So would you sign Shaq Leonard if you were the Titans? S for sign, P for pass. I'm going to give my thoughts here in a minute, but go take advantage, type in S for sign, P for pass. Shaq Leonard was cut last year by the Colts. Now, he still finished with what looks like decent numbers. 88 tackles, 4 TFLs, a sack, did not have a pass breakup. That production from Leonard came after missing a bunch of time with injuries in 2022. And at one point, Leonard was the best young off-ball linebacker in the NFL. He was a stat sheet stuffer in the most positive sense of the phrase, not in a negative sense, in a positive sense. 100-plus tackles every year, approaching double-digit TFLs, sacks, pass breakups, forced fumbles galore, interceptions. That player is not the same guy anymore. The guy used to have 7 to 8 pass breakups, had 0 last year. He's got coverage issues. Indy didn't put him out there in coverage situations. They didn't trust him at all. I think the injuries have really, unfortunately, added up for Shaq Leonard, where he's just not the same guy that he was. I don't know if he's better than Kenneth Murray from a movement perspective. Go watch that Colts-Patriots game last year. The man looked like he didn't know what was going on. Just taking bad angles, under-pursuing, over-pursuing. Wasn't even processing the same way he used to. Look, taking a game on him midseason last year, sure, that's fine. Wasn't that great with the Eagles or the Colts. So, one a linebacker, okay. I don't think Leonard is going to remotely look like the former All-Pro version that he once was.